Welcome to The Explainer. We are living through a massive shift in how we work, something people are calling the agentic era. And look, it's not just about flashy new tools. It's a fundamental change in the rules for success. So today, we're going to break down the 3 essential skills you absolutely need to not just get by, but to actually lead the way.
You've all heard of the 10,000-hour rule, right? This idea that to become a true master at something, you need to put in a decade of hard work. But what if that's not true anymore? In a world where AI can do so much, does that rule even make sense? Has the whole definition of what an expert is been totally rewritten?
The short answer is, yeah. The old rules are definitely out the window. We are now smack in the middle of the agentic era, and just understanding what that means is the first, most critical step.
So what on earth does agentic era actually mean? Well, think of it like this. AI agents are becoming like world-class musicians, each one mastering a really complex instrument. Your job is no longer to try and play an instrument better than they can. No way. Your new job is to be the conductor, the one who orchestrates all of these powerful players to create something beautiful and new. It's a huge shift from doing the work to directing the work.
Okay, so if we're going to be conductors, what's the first skill we need to master? Well, it all starts with changing the way we think about knowledge itself. It's this idea of strategic skill stacking.
For the longest time, the ideal professional was I-shaped. Super deep but narrow, expertise in one single thing. But that's not what the world needs anymore. The future belongs to the V-shaped professional. That's someone who still has that deep core skill, but they've also built this broad, horizontal layer of understanding across a bunch of related fields.
And this, right here, is the absolute game changer. This is what makes building that V-shape actually possible. Just look at this chart. In the past, learning a new skill could take thousands of hours. But now with AI helping you learn, that time just gets crushed. We're talking down to just a few hundred hours. All of a sudden, building that breadth on top of your depth isn't just a nice idea, it's totally achievable.
And this means you can start building your V like right now. Figure out what your core strength is. Then use AI to quickly learn the basics of a field right next door. A marketer, for example, doesn't need to become a data scientist. But if they use AI to learn the fundamentals of analytics, they can ask way smarter questions, guide their AI tools better, and work so much more effectively with the actual data specialists on their team.
All right, on to the second skill. And this one is so important in a world where today's amazing new tech is going to be old news by tomorrow. We're talking about radical adaptability.
This is going to sound a little weird, but your biggest risk isn't trying something new and having it fail. The real danger is being so successful with the old way of doing things that you become blind to change. Success can actually build a prison around you, a dogma that's really hard to break.
And you don't have to look far for a perfect and kind of painful example. Kodak. They literally invented the first digital camera all the way back in 1975. But they were so successful, so profitable with their film business that they actively suppressed their own invention. Their past success was the direct cause of their future failure. It's a huge warning sign for all of us as we face this AI shift.
And it's the exact same story with Blockbuster, right? They were so dug into their successful brick-and-mortar stores that they had the chance to buy Netflix for a measly $50 million, and they laughed it off. The future literally walked into their boardroom, and they just couldn't see it because they were too busy admiring their past.
Now, being adaptable doesn't mean you have to chase every shiny new thing that comes along. Not at all. It's about making smart, evidence-based pivots. It means you're constantly looking at the data, running little experiments, and having the guts to change direction when the evidence tells you it's time to move. So if being adaptable is the goal, how do you pull it off? You need an engine to power it. And that brings us to skill number 3, building your own personal hyper-learning engine. Remember this guy? That old, intimidating benchmark? 10,000 hours to master something. Basically, a decade of your life focused on one single thing. But with AI in your corner, the time it takes to get good enough at something to actually use it in your job, well, it's just a tiny fraction of what it used to be. We're talking 200 to 500 hours. The whole curve of learning has been completely squashed.
So how is this even possible? It's not magic. AI speeds up learning in 3 really key ways. First, it can take a mountain of information and just synthesize it down into the key points for you. Second, it's like having a personal tutor who is infinitely patient and will answer your dumbest questions 1,000,000 times. And third, it can create safe little sandboxes for you to practice in, so you can fail and learn without any real-world risk.
Okay, let's bring it all home. We've got our 3 core skills. Now let's talk about how to put them into practice so you can actually start leading.
First things first, build your V. Keep going deep on what you're great at, but start using AI to strategically stack those complementary skills all around it.
Second, really work on that radical adaptability. Make it a personal habit to challenge your own assumptions. Be ready to pivot, but always let the evidence be your guide, not your gut feeling.
And third, make hyper-learning your secret weapon, your ultimate competitive advantage. Don't just use AI to get work done. Use it to learn, to master new skills faster than you ever thought you could.
So, what can you do today? Right now, here's a super simple plan. 1. Go out and actively find people who disagree with you. Listen to them. 2. Run tiny little experiments with new AI tools in your daily work. And 3. Stop thinking of AI as just a fancy Google. Start treating it like your own personal tutor and your tireless research assistant.
So really, the bottom line is this. When you embrace skill stacking, radical adaptability, and hyper-learning, you're not just getting ready to survive this new era. You are setting yourself up to lead it. The only question is, are you ready to start?